is Friday, February 23rd, and this is Friday 5 at 5 with the Denver Public Library. My name is Dodie. I'm a librarian at DPL's Central Library, and in 15 minutes or less, we'll have you up to speed on 5 new titles out this month that we can't wait for you to read or listen to. Please note that new titles may not be added to Overdrive until after publication date, so if you don't see the titles in ebook or e-audio format, please check back. DPL wants to help you wake up your garden for spring with Master Gardeners. Successful gardens and landscapes are the result of proactive gardeners. Learn what needs to be done to get your yard and garden growing successfully this spring. Planning, soil testing, pruning, lawn care, watering, and planting are some of the topics that will be discussed. Start the season off with a strong landscape. Master Gardeners will be on hand to offer their expert advice. We have dates through March and April and the rest of the summer at branches all around the DPL system. Details in the link below. Do you know about DPL's appointment services? The Denver Public Library offers a variety of one-on-one appointment options with library professionals who are here to assist you. These include BizBoost, designed to help entrepreneurs start and grow their business; Genealogy, which provides assistance in researching your family genealogical history; Nonprofit Assistance, providing an introduction to online tools that DPL subscribes to; Patents and Trademarks, an introduction to access to our publications and databases that can help with your preliminary patent and trademark search; one-on-one student help for school projects and homework assignments; Tech Assistance, ongoing help for you to get your own laptop or other device, sign up for affordable internet, or learn how to use technology, and more. Information at the link below. On to the books. The Alaskan Wilds are the setting for Marie Vintres's compelling Blizzard, ably translated from the French by Stephanie Smee. Bess, the nanny, has stepped out into a snowstorm with the young boy in her charge. She lets go of his hand momentarily and loses him. I can't see a thing. The snow's whipping up from the ground in swirling gusts, and if I look up to the sky, it's a total whiteout. The air itself has been bleached of color, as if every shade has faded away, as if the whole world has been diluted in a glass of water. The few neighbors in this remote location brave the blizzard to help look for him. Vintras tells each of her short chapters from their various perspectives, slowly revealing the secrets they all hold as the desperate search goes on. This was the winner of the French Booksellers Award and is a chilling, tense read. T.C. Boyle's Drop City drops into 1970 and a down-at-the-heels California commune devoted to peace, free love, and the simple life has decided to relocate to the last frontier, the unforgiving landscape of interior Alaska, in the ultimate expression of going back to the land, based on the real Drop City, Colorado, currently only available via Prospector. One Man's Wilderness celebrates the 50th anniversary of when Dick Pronek first broke ground and made his mark in the Alaskan wilds in 1968. This best-selling memoir features an all-new foreword by Nick Offerman, plus color photographs not seen in print for over 20 years. Previously published as How to Con Your Kid in 2012, The Sneaky Parent, Crafty Tactics for Raising Cheerful Cooperative Kids by David Borgnick includes gender-neutral language, updated screen time advice, and more for today's parent. As a parent, you want nothing more than to keep your child fed, clothed, clean, healthy, and safe. Your kid, meanwhile, wants nothing more to do than eat junk, go nude, stay up all night, and fall down a well. Begging doesn't work. Bribery isn't sustainable. You don't want to shout. It's time to get sneaky. The Sneaky Parent offers a full playbook of clever ploys for beating kids at their own game. With the strategies outlined in this book, you can gently guide kids towards positive choices, while letting them think they're the ones in control. With a little benevolent sneakiness, your child will enthusiastically try new foods, embrace bath time, go to sleep on schedule, and other necessary but unpopular life skills. The best part? They'll be sure it was their idea. In Parenting Anxious Kids, Understanding Anxiety in Children by Age and Stage, licensed clinical psychologist Regine Galante offers a research-based, practical guide for parenting through all ages and stages, with strategies to help build coping skills from toddlerhood through young adulthood. Mama Cusses, a field guide to responsive parenting and trying not to be the reason your kid needs therapy, is a humorous field guide to responsive parenting and trying not to be the reason your kid needs therapy. The Threat by Nathaniel Stein tells the darkly comic story of Melvin Levine, a middle-aged man who is dissatisfied with his dull and mediocre life. That is, until he receives a mysterious death threat in the mail. Terrified at first, Levine soon becomes accustomed to the threat, and then, increasingly, delighted with it, thrilled with his newfound importance as a threatened man. But as his obsession with maintaining this identity becomes all-consuming, he risks blinding himself to the twin dangers of the threat itself, and perhaps worse, his own deranged mind. Dripping with voice, The Threat is a hilariously relatable story of self-doubt, aging, and frustration. Literary yet accessible, Stein's story explores what happens when the only way you can live is by feeling like you might die. Stein has written humor and nonfiction for The New Yorker, The New York Times, the Los Angeles Review of Books, and The Daily Beast, among other publications, and this is his debut novel. In Joshua Ferris's A Calling for Charlie Barnes, the title character, with help from his storyteller's son, Charlie Barnes, is given a second chance. A lifelong schemer and eternal romantic who would like out of his present circumstances, Charlie is granted a second act, and, at last, through an act of selflessness and love, becomes the man his son always knew he could be. In Robin Yateman's Bookworm, we meet Victoria, saddled with an unhappy marriage and a dead-end job. Then she meets a man in a cafe reading the same bestseller and uses every book she's ever read to find a way for them to be together. Chris Anderson, head of TED, explores the potential of human generosity to build a hopeful future in Infectious Generosity, the ultimate idea worth spreading. He believes that by reimagining one of the most fundamental human virtues, generosity can be infectious. Anderson shares inspiring stories of how a London barber offered haircuts to homeless people, anonymous donors gave $10,000 each to strangers, and TED transformed from a niche annual summit into a global beacon of ideas. He offers a playbook for embarking on generous acts, whether money, time, talent, connection, or kindness, and how they can have self-replicating, even world-changing impacts on the internet. Anderson provides a joyful roadmap away from a polarized, selfish society to the hopeful, humane place where we should be. This is an inspiring, timely book about ways to bring out the best in people rather than focusing on the worst. In From Generosity to Justice, A New Gospel of Wealth by Darren Walker, the author, president of the Ford Foundation, argues for a new vision of philanthropy informed by the demands of justice in this nonfiction debut. Walker contends that a traditional interpretation of charity, one that emphasizes generosity toward the downtrodden, is simply insufficient insofar as it neglects the causes of socio-economic inequality. Limitarianism, The Case Against Extreme Wealth, is an original, bold, and convincing argument for a cap on wealth by philosopher Ingrid Robertson, who coined the term limitarianism that invites readers to a radical reimagining of the world. Last Acts by Alexander Sammartino is a satire of contemporary America set at a firearms shop in Phoenix. David Rizzo's 30-year-old son, Nick, who's on the rebound from a heroin overdose, agrees to help his father turn around his latest failing business, a gun shop in an industrial wasteland. They devise a marketing scheme involving a pledge to donate a percentage of the store's proceeds to a drug rehab center, with Nick acting as the campaign's poster boy. It works until a school shooting dampens interest in gun sales. Nick and Rizzo are the kind of characters you just can't help feeling for. in spite of, or perhaps even because of, their tough exteriors. This is less outright comedy, more like satirical dramedy. In this debut, San Martino has created a wholly American novel about salvation, specifically a book that encounters the objects of salvation, quintessentially American objects like guns, opioids, and of course, money. Second chances come a different way in The Day Tripper by James Goodhand. After an altercation with a former childhood bully leaves him bruised, bloody, and almost drowning in the Thames, 20-something Alex Dean wakes up each day in a different year and must piece together what happens in his life after that fateful night to save himself and the people he loves the most. A change in career could mean a second chance for Zoe Zhang in Kyla Zhao's Valley Verified. Swapping high fashion for high tech, leaving New York City behind, she starts work with an app startup, but soon discovers in an industry claiming to change the world for the better, not everyone's intentions are pure. And, in case you missed it, the first images of the Buddha only appeared hundreds of years after his death. But since then, our traditions worldwide have been deeply influenced and enriched by Buddhist teachings and principles. Buddhism, A Journey Through Art by R.M. Woodward, is a handsomely produced volume that brings together these diverse strands of art: artifacts, sculptures, paintings, murals, and so on, spanning over 2,000 years. Art is an essential component to Buddhist religious life, serving as a practical tool of worship and the basis of a wider visual path to liberation. The summary of art in this book, through text and illustrations, invites us into the aesthetic exploration of the practice, ritual, meditation, and devotion of the varied Buddhist traditions. The photographs of the objects themselves are sourced from 12 museum collections from around the world, with the largest number coming from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. The lay reader on Buddhist art would be hard-pressed to otherwise come across the gorgeous objects depicted here. The Hidden Language of Symbols by Matt Wilson offers a wide-ranging selection of visual culture under one unified theme: symbols. Often not immediately apparent, our day-to-day lives abound with symbols of various kinds, from national emblems to emojis, allegories to logos, all of which exert a strong hold in the image-saturated, globalized world of the 21st century and have a fascinating story. In this beautiful illustrated book, Red, Michel Pastoureau, the acclaimed author of Blue, Black, and Green, now masterfully navigates centuries of symbolism and complex meanings to present the fascinating and sometimes controversial history of the color red. That's all for this month. Thank you for tuning in to Denver Public Library's Friday 5 at 5, and we hope you enjoy these great reads and listens. Check out or place a hold on these titles and a whole lot more right now at denverlibrary.org, link below. Tune in next month for new recommended reads. Bye.